In just 12 years, a young king from a rugged northern kingdom forged the largest empire the ancient world had ever seen. His name was Alexander the Great. But his true legacy wasn't the empire itself, which shattered upon his death. His true legacy was the world he left behind, a world utterly and irrevocably transformed. This is the story not just of conquest, but of consequence. To understand Alexander's world-altering impact, we must first dissect his instrument of conquest, the Macedonian war machine. While Alexander wielded it with genius, his father, Philip II, was its true architect. Before Philip, Greek warfare was dominated by citizen soldiers. Philip forged a professional, state-funded army, drilled relentlessly and loyal only to the king. He took the traditional Greek hoplite phalanx and fundamentally re-engineered it for empire building. This wasn't just an army. It was a revolution in military science, built on discipline, innovation, and a logistical train that could sustain campaigns far from home. The heart of this new army was the sarissa, a formidable pike stretching up to 18 feet. Crafted from tough Cornell wood, its two-piece construction was a logistical masterstroke, allowing for easier transport across vast distances. When wielded by soldiers in a deep, 16-man formation, the phalanx became a terrifying moving fortress. The first 5 ranks could project their spearheads forward, creating an impenetrable hedge of steel that no frontal assault could break. Coordinated by a complex system of trumpets and flags, this bristling wall of death could maneuver with a discipline unheard of in the ancient world. But Philip and Alexander knew the phalanx alone was not enough. It was the immovable anvil. The decisive blow came from the hammer, the legendary companion cavalry. These were the sons of Macedonian nobility, the finest heavy cavalry in the world, armed with lances and trained to charge in a distinctive wedge formation that could punch through any weak point. Alexander perfected this combined arms system. At pivotal battles like Issus and Gaugamela, the strategy was executed with breathtaking precision. He would use the phalanx to fix the numerically superior Persian infantry in place, creating immense pressure on their center. As the enemy line was pinned and stretched, Alexander, personally leading the companions, would identify or create a gap, often near the enemy commander. Then, he would unleash the devastating shock charge, shattering the enemy's command structure and causing a cascading collapse. It was a symphony of violence, a blueprint for conquest so effective it would not be surpassed for centuries. This military machine gave Alexander the power not just to defeat armies, but to dismantle entire empires. Alexander didn't just conquer territories, he planted a new cultural DNA across his vast new domain. He founded over 20 cities bearing his name, with the most magnificent rising from the Nile Delta in Egypt. These weren't mere military outposts. They were meticulously planned urban centers, often laid out on a grid system, designed to be engines of Greek culture, politics and commerce. Alexandria in Egypt, with its strategic harbor, quickly became a nexus for global trade, its docks bustling with merchants from as far as India and Italy. Bilingual signs in Greek and local languages would have been a common sight, a testament to the new, interconnected world Alexander envisioned. But here's the pivotal shift. Alexander understood that ruling such a diverse empire required more than just Greek cities. He began to adopt Persian customs and dress, a shocking move to his Macedonian veterans. He integrated Persian nobles into his administration and army, and in a stunning display of policy, staged mass weddings at Susa, marrying his top officers to Persian noblewomen. His goal was a deliberate fusion, a blending of Greek and Eastern worlds. This syncretism even extended to religion, where Greek gods were identified with local deities, like Zeus with the Egyptian Ammon. After his sudden death, Alexander's dream of a unified political empire shattered. His generals, the Diadochi, carved it up in a series of brutal wars. The Ptolemies seized Egypt, ruling as pharaohs from Alexandria. The Seleucids controlled a vast, sprawling territory from modern-day Turkey to Afghanistan. And the Antigonids held Macedon and Greece. Yet, in a great historical irony, as they fought over the land, they all furiously pursued his cultural project. Everywhere they ruled, They built Greek-style cities, complete with the essential agoras, theatres, and gymnasiums. This was the birth of the Hellenistic world, a world that was Greekish. It was a cosmopolitan commonwealth, a melting pot of peoples and ideas. For the next 3 centuries, a Greek-speaking architect could find work for an Egyptian pharaoh, a Babylonian astronomer could share his knowledge at the Museum of Alexandria, and a philosopher from Cyprus could teach his ideas in the marketplace of Athens. From Pergamon in Anatolia to Ai-Khanoum in Afghanistan, Greek language, art, and thought spread and mingled with local traditions. A common dialect of Greek, Koine, became the lingua franca of trade and administration, carried along maritime routes and dusty caravan trails, facilitating the exchange of not just silk and spices, but of philosophies like Stoicism and Epicureanism, which offered new ways to navigate this complex, ever-changing world. The crown jewel of this new world was the Library of Alexandria. More than a repository of scrolls, it was the ancient world's greatest think tank. The Ptolemies had an insatiable hunger for knowledge. They sent agents to buy, borrow, or confiscate texts from every known culture. Here, the Greek love of inquiry met the accumulated knowledge of Egypt, Mesopotamia, and Persia. Eratosthenes calculated the Earth's circumference with astonishing accuracy. Euclid codified geometry. Archimedes invented revolutionary machines. This was Alexander's most profound legacy, the creation of an interconnected world of ideas. For the first time, knowledge became a collective, international project. The pursuit of science, literature, and art was no longer a niche Athenian pastime, but the prized endeavor of empires. So, what happened to this glittering Hellenistic world? It paved the road for its own conqueror, Rome. The Roman legions eventually defeated the Macedonian phalanx, not with longer pikes, but with superior flexibility and organization. But in victory, Rome was conquered culturally. The Romans were awestruck by Greek culture. They adopted Greek gods, giving them Roman names, copied Greek art, and hired Greek tutors. As the Roman poet Horace said, "Captive Greece took captive her rude conqueror." Alexander's fusion had created a universal cultural package, a classical template of art, philosophy, and urban living that Rome would standardize and spread across Europe. This Greco-Roman fusion became the very bedrock of Western civilization. Alexander died at the young age of 32, his vast, hard-won empire fracturing almost immediately like a clay map dropped on stone. His generals, the Diadochi, carved it into warring kingdoms, shattering his dream of a unified political state. So, if his core political achievement was so fleeting, so ephemeral, why does Alexander the Great still loom so large in the architecture of history? Why is his name synonymous not with failure, but with an entire epoch? The answer is that his true enduring legacy was the container, not the contents. Alexander didn't just conquer territory, he smashed the old, rigid barriers between East and West, creating a single, interconnected stage. He forged a common world, bound by a shared language, a network of cities built on a common blueprint, and an economic system lubricated by standardized currency. This vast, unified space became a crucible for innovation. On that stage, the drama of the Hellenistic world unfolded, an era of explosive cultural exchange, profound scientific ambition, and staggering artistic brilliance. This was the world of Euclid's geometry, of Eratosthenes calculating the circumference of the Earth, of Archimedes' world-altering inventions. It was the age of Stoic and Epicurean philosophy, which sought to give individuals a moral compass in a sprawling, cosmopolitan world. This intellectual and cultural inheritance would not die with the last Hellenistic kingdom. Instead, it was waiting for its next heir. That heir was Rome. As the legions marched east, they conquered the lands Alexander had opened, but they were, in turn, conquered by Hellenistic culture. Rome became the conduit, absorbing Greek science, philosophy, and art, and then protecting, amplifying, and transmitting it across its own even larger empire. This Greco-Roman synthesis, born from Alexander's conquests, became the bedrock of Western civilization, preserved through the Byzantine Empire and rediscovered during the Renaissance to fuel a new age of discovery. He was less a king of a place and more a catalyst for an idea. That human civilization could be a shared project, a dialogue across continents. That is the true, indestructible relic of the Macedonian Empire. What do you think? Was Alexander a visionary fusionist, consciously building a new world? Or was he a ruthless conqueror whose cultural impact was just a happy, unintended accident of his ambition? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you could travel back to the Hellenistic world, which of its magnificent cities would you visit first? Alexandria, Pergamon, or Antioch? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more journeys through history's most pivotal moments.